and renowned vocalist Minnie Palmerston. She had no idea what a souffleuse was, and she was too timid to ask. The names of artistes appearing that week was long, but Ella had no time to read it all as she followed the tall figure in front of her. Still, she could appreciate that this was a world of affluence and privilege, very different from the one she knew. Even the air smelled rich with the aroma of tobacco smoke and perfume. Mr. Weatherby-Nichols was far ahead of her now, and was opening a door that led on to another, less glamorous part of the theatre. Doors led off corridors to the right and left, the dressing rooms, she guessed, of the famous performers. And then suddenly she was in the auditorium, a vast cavern of a place filled with row upon row of seats that faced the stage. Ella glanced up at the gilt railings of the upper floors, overawed by the sheer size of the theatre. Behind the stage was a kitchen. "Here we are, then," said Mr. Weatherby-Nichols. "Perhaps you'd like a cup of tea before you start work. Kathleen?" A young girl appeared, wiping her hands on the sacking apron tied around her slim waist. "See to... What did you say your name was?" "Ella Burton, sir. Ella, if you please." "Well, Ella," he smiled, "our little Irish Colleen here will show you where to start. The rest of the staff will already be at work, though, as I expected, our Kathleen has been boiling the kettle for a brew." "By the Blessed Virgin, I have not," Kathleen protested. "I'm getting more water from my bucket, that's all. There's a lot of back-breaking work to do now the place is opened again. No work being done for months, if you ask me." Ella wondered if her dismay was showing on her face. The prospect of cleaning all those long corridors was not a pleasant one. "Look," Mr. Weatherby-Nichols said kindly. "Fit in here as best you can, work hard, and you'll be all right. I've got to go." As he disappeared, Ella felt suddenly lost, cast adrift in a strange world where she was nothing more than the tiniest cog in the wheel that ran the theatre. "About time you got here." Kathleen looked her up and down. "Sure, you're a bit on the small side, so you are so." She rubbed her hands on her sacking apron and then smiled, tugging a loose curl of red gold hair back under what appeared to be a man's cap. "I hope you're a hard worker. We need somebody with a good dollop of elbow grease." Ella had difficulty understanding what Kathleen was saying. She had a lovely Irish accent, but she spoke quickly, as though she had no time to mince her words. Ella smiled and held out her hand. "I might be small, but I can work hard," she said. "You'll need to work hard round here." Kathleen smiled to soften her words. Most of the cleaners were paid off when the palace closed down for a few months. In any case, to be sure, they couldn't hang around waiting for the theatre to open again. Some of them had little kiddies to feed. "But there are other staff, aren't there?" Ella was alarmed at the thought of cleaning the huge building with only Kathleen to help her. Kathleen laughed. "Not many. There's my Irish pal Tim, who probably took you on. He styles himself as the under-manager, though we don't do much managing. And then there's old Doris, the chief scrubber, I call her, just for a joke, you know. She's off work today. Bad cold. Used to be a fine singer, so she says. And I've got no reason to call her a liar. Mind, she's old now and half blind. She don't even see the fag ends the toffs throw away." She paused and looked sharply at Ella. "Good bit of tobacco in them fag ends, not to be wasted. But that's my business, right? Any fag ends you pick up belong to me. Understand that, and we'll get on just fine, so we will." Ella had no interest in fag ends and wondered why Kathleen collected them. "And the man who let me in?" Ella changed the subject. "What does he do?" "He's the manager of the place." "Is he a good manager?" Ella asked hopefully. "He seems to have a very nice way with him." "Don't be fooled by his chat. Anthony likes to think he's the boss, but he don't own the palace. Mind you, he's the one who forks out the wages, so you'll have to be nice to him." She giggled. "Not too nice, mind. Come on then, take your coat off. If I was you, I'd tuck your skirts up into your bloomers."